Good afternoon, chess fans. My name is Pavel Voloshin, and today we'll make one more broadcast for you. The top match, Moscow versus Belgrade. So, 20 seconds before the start of the tournament, and I expect a very close match because both teams have a lot of great players in their squads. For example, Luka Vudisavljevic in Team Belgrade. He's a grandmaster, and there are three FIDE masters in Team Serbia, so I expect a very close game. Of course, Moscow team also has some great players, and I believe that our tournament has just begun, so let's just watch the top games. Why not? Tiki Taka against Mikhailo Momchilovic. So, something like London system is coming. So, Mikhailo Momchilovic. Young player, almost 13 years old. So, bishop f5, queen b3. A very classic idea. Trying to attack pawn on b7 square. So, not so easy to defend it. Something like queen b6 also is possible for black. So I expect this move, but queen d7 is played. Also nice strike. Knight f3 goes to e5. So very active play from white. And what to do, because not so easy to understand what to do for black, because the knight cannot take on e5 because d takes e5 and bishop b5. And right now bishop b5 also very nice try. So I believe that white has very good advantage in the opening. So bishop b5 with a very strong pressure on knight on c6. So what to do for black? Bishop e7, preparing castling to the king side. What to do for white? Maybe also castling, why not? Or d takes c5 maybe is possible. So queen a4, trying to attack knight on c6 even more. Very logical idea, because right now it's not so easy to understand how to protect knight on c6 square. So I believe that there are no opportunities to defend it. So I believe that Mikhailo will make castling. He will play without pawn, but maybe he will have some compensation for it. Queen a4, yeah, very nice try. And knight on c6 is under attack, and there are no opportunities to defend it. So, what else can Mikhailo do? Well, maybe some counterplay, but knight e4 is not a very good move, so I believe that he will make short castling and play without pawn for compensation. He will try to find some compensation for sacrificed pawn. Very quick play from Tiki-Taka. So knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, extra pawn for white, and even more than extra pawn because rook on a8 doesn't have an opportunity to go anywhere. So I believe that e will take on d4. It is the most logical decision in this position, and then bishop will take on a8 square. So very good play from the openings. So what can Mikhail do? Maybe some counter chances after e takes d4. I don't know what about Tiki-Taka is thinking. So maybe c takes d4 or something like that. E takes d4 is the most logical move in this position. So nothing to say. Right now rook on a8 is under attack and doesn't have any empty squares to go anywhere. So square on b8 is under the control of dark squared bishop on f4. So I believe that black position is totally lost right now, and maybe Mikhailo can even resign even here. Why not? And maybe he will play several more games, but he decided to continue, and right now white should take on b8. It goes without saying that it is the best opportunity in this position. And what next? Yeah, not so easy to understand because right now pawn on b2 is under attack. Maybe queen b3 trying to exchange queens, or queen b5, maybe something like that. I believe that queen b3 looks very logical, but queen c7 will be played. So how to continue for white? Of course, they have extra material, but there are some technical problems in this position. How to win it? So pawn on b2 is under attack. How to protect it? Long castling, very dangerous. Bishop goes to b5, very logical. Bishop just goes back to b5 square. And what counter chances Mikhailov has in this position? Bishop d6 preventing short castling. So h3 I believe will be played. The most logical, yeah. h3 is played by white, so everything is okay. Extra material, castling on the next move. So I believe that white will easily win this game in several moves. So how to continue for Mikhailo? He needs to find some counter chances, but I don't see any opportunities to do that. Bishop f4. Okay, Mikhailo is trying to find some counterplay, and right now knight on d2 is under attack. So knight goes to f3, and I believe that knight or bishop will go to e4 square. I believe that even bishop will do it. So bishop will go to e4 square. Yeah, bishop goes to e4. And you know there are some counter chances for Mikhailo in this position, so not so easy to win for white right now. So what to do? Maybe there are no serious threats right now, but what good moves can tiki-taka do? Also not so easy to understand because short castling is really dangerous after bishop f3. Long castling is not possible, so maybe Mikhail has good opportunity to escape in this game. But king e2, wow, king e2, magnificent play, of course, but very dangerous king position right now. King takes on f3. Well, next idea for white is g3 and king g2. Of course, if they will manage to do that, everything will be okay. So bishop goes to h6 with an idea queen f4, but right now g3 I believe is possible. Why not? g3, yeah, g3 is played. So what next? What next for black? How to continue the counterplay? e5, but d can take e5, queen takes e5, and maybe even queen d4. Why not? Yeah, queen takes e5 and queen d4, trying to exchange queens. I believe that everything is okay for white in this position, so they will easily win this game in a few next moves. Rook e1, also nice try. Queen will go to f5 check, or maybe to h5 with the same idea. Queen goes to f5, king g2. Yeah, everything is under the control. So knight goes to e4, trying to attack pawn on f2, but what about rook e2? Just rook e2 is possible right now to protect pawn on f2 square. So tiki-taka, let's play faster. Queen goes to d4, why not? Queen goes back to the defense. Very nice try. I believe that knight d2 will be played, or bishop d2, or knight d2. Knight goes to g5, also nice try, and right now queen g4 is the only good move in this position. Yeah, queen g4, protecting pawn on h3 and square on f3. So, Mikhailo, let's find some more counter chances. But what counter chances? All active moves are made. And right now, I believe everything is all over in this position. Too much extra material for white, so I believe that there are no counter chances right now for Mikhailo. 45 seconds left for him, so he's down on time, down on material. So everything went wrong in this game. Queen goes to f6. I believe that bishop will go back to d3. Very logical. And with an idea, queen f5. Come on, let's play queen, bishop d3. Bishop d3. Why not? Yeah, bishop d3, very good play. The idea is very simple. Queen f5. Trying to exchange as many pieces as we can. Next move, maybe h4 is possible. So there are a lot of opportunities for white how to win this position. And I believe that they will easily do it. And right now, queen f5. Queen f5, yeah, queen f5. Very technical decision for tiki-taka. So exchanging of queens, and it's all over. Because right now, even knight on e6 is under attack. Just 15 seconds left for Mikhailo. His knight goes to c5. Maybe with some ideas to go to knight a4. Something like that. So maybe just rook d1. Yeah, rook d1. Looks very good. But bishop goes to c2, preventing knight a4 and rook d1 right now. So everything is okay. Extra material for white. So next move, rook d4 and then rook d1, double rooks. Rook d4 is not possible, but what about f4? Why not f4, king f3, bishop f5, also very good. Less than 10 seconds left for Mikhailo Momchilevich, and his position, of course, is totally lost. Right now, rook goes to e7, very strong move, and rook can go even to d5. Yeah, beautiful chess tactics. Everything is all over. Our congratulations to Tiki Taka. Very good first win in our tournament. So let's switch to top games. Yeah, top seed players. One of the highest rated players in both teams. Luka Ristic against Leonid Kretov. Luka Ristic, FIDE master. 13 years old FIDE master. So young, talented, aggressive player. Leonid Kretov. Also very talented. Not so young, but also very talented. So, very passive position for Leonid as far as I'm concerned. I don't like his move bishop e7, but maybe he's preparing short castling. What about h3, g4 idea? I believe that Luka will play h3 and with a serious threat g4 and g5. Because, you know, rook on c1 is very active. And there are some possibilities to take on d5 and then take on d5 with knight somewhere. But Luka decided to play bishop e2 and make short castling. Okay. This is very good. a5. An example of active play from Leonid Kretov. What about knight a4 is maybe not possible. Yeah, d takes c4 and then b5. Okay, knight e4 I believe is possible because d takes c4, bishop takes c4, and b5 is not possible because bishop can take on b5. Pin on c line is very strong, so I believe that knight a4 will be played, but Luka decided to play a little bit slowly. Well, Leonid, what about strange move a4 because knight can take? I can understand his idea. He would like to take on c4 and then b5, but Luka can take on b5 after all that happened. So Luka, just don't be scared. I believe that Luka can take on a4. Yeah, he took a pawn with knight, d takes c4, and yeah, bishop can take on c4 and b5. The idea of Leonid Kretov is not possible because bishop can take on b5. So rook takes on, well, and b5 right now. What about bishop b5? Why not? Bishop b5 looks very logical. C takes b5, queen takes b5. I believe that 2 pawns on the queen side should bring a win to Luka Ristic. So, but he's trying to calculate something. What he's trying to calculate? Yeah, bishop takes b5. The most logical, the most principled, very good play from FIDE master from Serbia. So, c takes b5 is the only opportunity as far as I'm concerned for Leonid Kretov. Yeah, he's making this move. So, right now, queen takes b5 here, and everything is okay for Luka Ristic. But right now, his pawn on a2 is under attack, so he has to do something with that. He has rook and 3 pawns for 2 pieces. I believe it is a full compensation. So, what next move? What about just a4? Why not a4? Come on, look at just let's just play active chess. a4, yeah. Luka is doing that. Luka. So rook c7 can be played on the next move. You know, there are rook b8 and under a bishop take on b8, and I believe, yeah, Leonid will resign. Not very good play from Leonid Kretov, but everything is okay. Our tournament has just begun. There are a lot of games still in our tournament. So, Mikhail Djokic, also one FIDE master, but let's watch this game. Yeah, interesting end game. Mikhail Djokic against AVK Artem Knyazev, one of the strongest players in Moscow chess team against one of the strongest players in Team Serbia. So, and I believe that Artem has great chances to win this position. So, he has 2 extra pawns right now. Now, rook f7 is a serious threat. Rook f7, Artem, rook f7, and rook g4 will be played. Yeah, or rook g3, not g4, rook g3. Yeah. So, very technical decision. King f2 and just rook g6. Yeah, just rook g6 with an idea to exchange rooks. Rook f6, but Mikhailo is trying to make some counterplay. Rook a2, and right now rook can take on g2 square, but it is not very good. Maybe, yeah. So rook a8, g7, rook c8, checkmate idea on h8 square. Of course, Artem can see that. So he's making very good check. Rook a6, king goes to c5, maybe, yeah, a4, a4. So 3 extra pawns for Artem Knyazev. Great chances to bring Moscow chess team a win in this game. Why not? a3. What next? How to win this position? I believe that he will just try to come to promote a3 pawn into queens. So 25 seconds left for Mikhailo Djokic. And totally lost position. Rook a6, c5, and it's all over. c5, Artem, come on. c5 was, of course, better discovered attack, but c5 didn't appear on board. So rook e3, king d2. Just don't blunder a rook on e3. Rook h3. Why rook h3? I believe it is okay because, yeah, right now rook a2, maybe some checkmate, yeah, possibilities. And Mikhailo decided to resign in this game. Congratulations to Artem Knyazev. A very good play from young, talented Russian player. Let's watch something interesting. What can we? Let's watch maybe a game of Khachaturian Marietta against Luka Ristic. Why not? So I believe that black position right now is better because pawn on d4 is not very good, and it is under attack, and everything, all pieces are very good for Luka Ristic. So I believe that his position is slightly better right now. and not so easy to understand what to do with queen. To take on, yeah, Marietta decided to take on c4. Right now, Luca has two bishops and good chances to win this position. I believe rook c7 will be played. Rook c7 is very logical. Or maybe, you know, Luca is trying to calculate bishop f3. Bishop f3. Queen f3 and rook d4, yeah? Maybe something like that. And extra pawn for black. But bishop f3, queen c4 is possible. Bishop d1, rook d1. So, Luca, just go back with your rook. Just go back. Rook c7, rook goes to c8, also very logical, why not? So, next move, I believe it, knight d5 will be very classical position. h3, very slow play from Marietta. I believe that black positions will become better and better in few moves. So, Luca, let's play knight d5, most logical and most classical idea in this position, and knight d5 is played. So knight d5, Luca is trying to block pawn on d4. So also he's trying to exchange some pieces. For example, right now Marietta decided to take on d5. What about bishop g5? What about bishop g5, Marietta? I believe that Luca will take on g5, yeah. Bishop g5, and I believe that Marietta will go back knight e3 or knight c3, something like that. So, because knight g5 is not possible, queen g5, and okay, it is possible, but knight has to go back to e3 in that case. So, Luca, well, Marietta. So what can we do? So knight goes back to c3. So yeah, last move was knight c3. Everything was okay for Luka Ristic, I believe, in this position. So bishop goes to b7, and maybe d5. There are some possibilities to play d5 right now. So what can Marietta do in this position? What she will do, let's watch. I believe she's trying to calculate d5 or something like that. Maybe knight e5. She's trying to analyze that. Knight goes to e4. Knight goes to e4. Bishop goes back to e7. Very classical play from Luka Ristic. Knight goes to e5. So center is under the control of white, but is it good or not? Not so easy to understand. And right now, queen d5 is a very good move. Queen d5, but Luka decided to play queen a8. f3 right now is possible. I believe it is maybe even the only opportunity. Or rook a1, something like that. So rook a1 or f3. Marietta, come on, don't waste time. Choose one of these moves. Yeah, f3 is played. And what next? Rook d8, rook c8, something like that. Bishop goes to d5, trying to attack pawn on a2 square. Very good. b3, and what next? Rook c8. Rook c8, yeah, is played by Luka Ristic. So Marietta is trying to find a good plan. Maybe, you know, knight c4 is a possible idea or something like that. Knight c4 should be played, I believe that. Knight on e5, of course, is very good. Queen d3. So Marietta's position is very solid. So not so easy to understand how to do something interesting for Luka Ristic. So Luka is thinking, he needs a plan how to improve his position. I believe rook c7, queen c8 is very logical. Rook c7, queen b7. I believe that with an idea, queen c. Well, what? And what about bishop g5, Marietta? I believe it was a blunder. Well, so interesting position was one move ago, and Marietta blundered a knight. What a pity for Marietta, but the tournament continues, so everything is okay. Let's watch this one. Dmitry IM against Milica Tsarevich. Milica Tsarevich. So queen e6 was the last move played by Milica. So what can Dmitry IM do? What can Dmitry Rostovtsev do? Bishop e2, bishop trying to prevent knight g4, something like that. So I believe that white has a little but strong advantage here, because they have two bishops and pawn on d6 is rather weak. So maybe something went wrong in the opening for Serbian player. F3, classical play, and I believe that everything is okay for Dmitry Rostovtsev right now. Knight goes to c6 square. So, but Dmitry needs a plan. Knight d5, nice try. Knight cannot take on d5, e takes d5, and fork on queen and knight on c6. So, knight d5 is a nice try. So, how to react on knight d5? Not so easy to understand, you know. There are some problems for Milica. Maybe just rook c8, rook d8, something like that. But position is becoming worse and worse for black. Right now, knight c7 is a serious threat for black. So they have to play very careful. I believe that rook c8 or rook d8, rook b8 is played with the same idea, but and what next for Dmitry Rostovtsev? How he will improve his position? Bishop b6, c4, also logical, very classical way to play in this kind of position. So 1 hour left in our tournament. Queen goes to d7, rook c1, maybe with an idea c5. Yeah, c5 is a threat right now. Maybe rook d8 is possible, but bishop b6 will be played on rook d8. So there are some problems for Milica. I believe that Dmitry Rostovtsev is playing very, very good right now, and his position is better, much better. Very huge advantage. Very strong knight on d5, pawn on d6 is very weak, square on b6 is also very weak, so nothing positive for black in this position. I'm trying to find something, but I don't see anything. So Milica is thinking, I believe that he understands everything, that the position gone out of control. b5, counterplay. But what about c takes b5 and rook c6? It is a blunder, because Dmitry can take on b5, c takes b5, a takes b5, and rook c6. Rook c6, and everything will be all over. Rook c6, queen takes c6, and knight e7 fork. So come on, Dmitry, let's take on c6, very classical chess tactics. Yeah, yeah, and it's all over. Yeah, our congratulations to Dmitry Rasovtsev. Very good game from him. So, let's watch something else. Would like to find something very interesting. What about that one? Marko Milanovic against Epets. Very classical position. Karakan defense, I believe, was played. 10 seconds left for Epets. Huge time trouble. I believe position is worse. So not so easy to find a good way how to defend this position for Epets, but he's trying to do that. F6, attacking knight on E5. Knight has to go somewhere, maybe to G6, maybe to D3, something like that. Knight goes to F3 square. Huge time trouble for black. Rook can go to E1 square to attack pawn on E6. So there are some weaknesses on the king side of the board for black, and it is a very huge trouble. So knight goes to H4. Strange decision from Marko Milanovic. Also young player, 12 years old, so very talented, of course, and a high-rated player. So, but Epets also is playing very good. He's trying to defend this position. All rooks gone out from board. So right now, maybe everything is okay right now for white, because pawn on H5 is weak. Maybe G4 is possible right now. Yeah, G4 is played, trying to defend pawn on H5 and to let queen to go somewhere. What next? What next plan for Marko Milanovic? A3, B4 maybe? What about this? Or just knight has to go somewhere. Knight should go, I believe, to G6 or something like that. But queen decides to go to D3. Okay, and right now, queen H7. What is the idea of queen D3? Queen H7 or something like that? Very interesting. Queen H7 is not very serious threat. So maybe just A3 will be played by Marko Milanovic. There are a lot of good moves. Knight goes back to F3 and bishop goes to D6, attacking pawn on F4. So queen will go to E3 or queen go to E4, something like that. To E3, I believe it. But black's idea is to play maybe even F5. B6 is played by Epets. Solid play. We have to confirm that. Exchanging of knights and bishop takes, and pawn on B6 is under attack and pawn is down. So Marko can take on B6, bishop will take on F4. This is the main idea as far as I'm concerned, and the queen can go to C5 square with a serious attack. But Marko decided not to take it, and right now queen goes to A8 with serious threat. Queen A7. Queen A7 right now also is possible. Yeah, king goes to D8. Who will take on B6, bishop takes on B6. And what next? I believe that just exchanging of queens on D7 and then just go back with bishop to E3 square, protecting pawn on F4. It looks very logical for Marko Milanovic, and I believe he will play like that. Maybe he's trying to calculate some more active variations. Oh, queen A8 and then queen E4, also a nice try for him. No, he decided to take on D7 and goes with bishop to E3. So king C2, and he has extra pawn and great chances to win this position. So king will go to C3 or to D3, something like that. King B3, yeah, also nice try, and king goes to A4. And how to protect pawn on a5, and exchanging of bishops. a4 will be played, yeah. b4, yeah. b4 should be played. Is it a win? a4, b4, yeah. A takes b4, king takes b3, e5, yeah, e5, f takes e5, f takes e5, king goes back to c3, e4, a4, yeah. Of course, it is a totally win for white, and Epets decided not to continue this game. He resigned. So very close game right now. Moscow team leads, but not with very huge score. Very interesting. Maybe let's watch battle between young and talented players. Miloš Stankovic against Nikolai Averин. Pretty passive position for Nikolai. He doesn't like that, but he has extra pawn, so it is okay. Extra pawn for black, but two bishops and some compensation for Miloš Stankovic. So, but both players goes into time troubles. The d2 should take on c6, and there are no more good moves. Yeah, Miloš, you have to play faster as far as I'm concerned. Miloš Stankovic is one of the highest rated players in Serbian team, and one of the most experienced players. He is almost 18 years old, so he has a lot of experience how to play against young and talented players. So bishop goes to d5, attacking rook on c6, rook will go to c7, exchanging of rooks, and I believe that next move is a5, yeah. But rook will go to c6. Rook can go to c6 just to protect pawn on b6. So 20 seconds left for both players. Rook goes to b8. A kind, a kind of passive play. And right now b5, yeah. Rook d1. And just extra pawn for Nikolai Averин. So good chances for him. But will he win this position? Rook b1. Rook will go back? No, rook goes to d3. Well, and brilliant tactics from Miloš. And now rook e3, rook b8, exchanging, and well, king g6, and king g2. I believe it is a draw, just a draw. Black offers draw, and it is a draw. Very good play from both players. Now we are going back. So let's find some interesting positions. I believe it is most interesting one. For example, this Dmitry Rostovtsev against Luka Ristic. Rather equal position. Well, maybe there is a threat. Bishop h3, yeah. Right now, bishop h3 is a serious threat for white. So queen has to go somewhere to f4, to g5 maybe. I believe to f4 is a pretty logical decision. So both players have less than 2 minutes, and the position is rather interesting. So Dmitry has to play a little bit faster. So what will he do? Queen f4 or something like that. Queen d4. Okay, nice try. So rook d8 from e8, yeah. Looks very logical, most principled decision for Luka Ristic. Of course, white has a little advantage, but Luka decided to attack pawn on a2. Interesting decision. I believe that queen c3 is possible, and queen a2 will not be possible because of rook a1. So queen c3, come on, Dmitry, let's play queen c3 and everything would be okay for you. So queen c3, I expect this move. Oh, rook d2, rook a2 also possible. Queen goes to f6. And what about queen a2? What is your plan, Dmitry? Queen a2, I believe, will be played by Luka Ristic. It is the most principled decision because I don't see anything very serious for Dmitry Rostovtsev on the king side of the board. I don't see any good opportunities for him to attack king. Maybe, of course, maybe he sees that, but I don't see such opportunities. a5 is played. h4 with an idea h5, h6, and queen goes back to e7, trying to exchange queens. So I believe that queen will go to f4 because Dmitry will retain queens on board. So queen f4, yeah, queen f4, well, a very logical decision from Moscow player. Well, rook d8, yeah, rook d8 looks very logical for Luka Ristic, but he decided to play a4. Very active. And what next? Queen d6. Queen d6 is possible, or h5. h5 is still a nice opportunity. Yeah, h5 is played. Both players have less than a minute. A takes b3, a takes b3, rook a5, h takes g6, h takes g6. So who is better right now? Not so easy even to understand. 30 seconds left for Dmitry Rostovtsev, so good chances for Luka Ristic to find some counter chances, but bishop g4. Well, and how to protect bishop on e6? Maybe there are some problems for Luka Ristic in this position. How do you think? Or he will play f5 and everything will be okay. So we are expecting, I expect move f5. f5 should be played. In this position because there are, I don't see any opportunities how to defend. Queen g5, and what about queen g5? Bishop e6, and the rook exchanging of rooks, and rook d7. Come on, Dmitry, let's do that. Yeah, rook d8 and rook d7. Very technical decision. So extra pawn for Dmitry Rostovtsev and good chances to win this position. So how can Dmitry Rostovtsev win this position? f3, king goes to d4 to c3, very active king. Yeah, f3 was not very fast move. g5, rook goes to e7, and very fast play from both players. Luka is one pawn down, and active king for Dmitry Rostovtsev. I believe that he will win this game. Rook e2, king f5, rook e3, king will take g5, rook f3. So great chances for Dmitry Rostovtsev. e4, rook c6, e3, rook e6. So I believe that yeah, Dmitry Rostovtsev will win this game. Of course, Luka will win rook. Well, right now rook e3 is a serious threat. You know, there are 3 pawns. It should be draw. G5. Let's calculate. Rook takes b3, g6. Rook c3, g7. So rook h3. Nice try. Yeah, very good decision. So right now Luka is trying to win this game. Very interesting decision from FIDE Master from Serbia. So maybe he will even manage to do that. King f6, I believe, was better. Rook f3, king e6, yeah. King e6. So I believe that Dmitry will not lose it in this game, but will he win? Of course not, because right now everything is okay for Luka Ristic. He is in safety position. He is not losing, and he is still trying to win this position. But I believe the game will end in a draw. So Rook f3, king will go to e7, to e6 maybe, and the game will end in a draw. All other moves can lead to even disaster for white. So Dmitry, you have to move. Just 3 seconds. 5 seconds left for Dmitry Rostovtsev. So king goes to e7. Rook takes b3. Well, rook has to go back, and the game will end in a draw. So g8, c5 even. Of course, it is a nice joke. So the game ended in a draw. Congratulations to both players. Very good play from both of them. Well, let's watch something interesting. Well, what about this one? Looks very interesting. Miloš Gvozdenovic against Marietta Khachaturian. Miloš is a very good player, so I expect very nice game from him. Right now, e5 is a very serious threat, and e5 is still possible for Marietta to put pawn into center. So e5 is possible, and I believe it is one of the best opportunities in this position. e5, just to attack bishop on d4. h5 is played by Marietta. She's trying to open lines on the king side of the board, and very good decision, you know. I believe that f4 is maybe the only opportunity not to lose immediately for Miloš Gvozdenovic, so f4 should be played. So Miloš, come on, h takes g4 is a very serious threat. So he has to do something. f4, I believe, is the only opportunity. But he is thinking. Less than a minute for Serbian player, more than 3 minutes for Marietta. Very strong, very fast play from Marietta Khachaturian, and she's playing for the win. f4 is the only opportunity. Miloš, what are you thinking about? f4, come on. Of course, it is not a very good move from positional point of view. But what else can Miloš do? King g2, maybe king g2, but king g2, f4, yeah, f4 is played. So h takes g4, h takes g4, rook h4, and what next? For Miloš, maybe queen e2. No, king goes to f2. Interesting play. Rook goes to h8 square, double rooks on h line for Marietta. King goes to h2 square, go to e2 square. What next? Marietta, you need a plan. Maybe just to exchange one pair of rooks, rook h2. Come on, rook h2, most logical decision. Rook g4, also nice try. Yeah, why not to take pawn if you can do that? Rook f2, and just one extra pawn for Marietta. Well, nice try from Miloš. He's trying to make some counter-attack on the maybe on the king side of the board. f5 maybe should be played. Rook f1. Rook f1 with an idea f5. Just 6 seconds left for Miloš Gvozdenovic. Not very good for him. I believe that Marietta should win this game. Rook g3. Just 7 seconds left for Miloš Gvozdinovic. And what next? Maybe e5? King d7 right now by Khachaturian Marietta. King c1. Escaping of kings. Rook h3. There are no threats. And e5. e5 right now. e5, but queen f5, yeah? King c7. Queen c3 check. Exchanging of queens. Incoming. No. Miloš denied this opportunity to exchange queens. Of course, he is pawn down, so he needs queens on board, but 3 seconds left for him. And yeah, he lost on time. Good play from Marietta. Nice win. So let's find something interesting. Maybe something like that. Zdorova against Maria Stankovic. Why not? Yeah, some classical positions. 40 minutes left in our tournament. Everything is going very good for both teams. Moscow chess team leads with 60 points as far as I'm concerned. So, but there are a lot of very interesting games in this match. We saw a lot of very interesting games. h3, knight goes to h7 square, maybe with an idea f5, or knight goes to g5. Bishop e3 is played by white, so f5 is played by Maria Stankovic. Very active idea. Maybe f takes e4 is an opportunity on the next move. So f5. What about e takes f5? Not so easy to understand what to do. Or just f3. Why not? White player is thinking. Has a lot of time. So f4, very active decision. But is it a logical one? And Maria has to decide what to do. I believe that f4 should become not very good move, because maybe e should take on f4. Yeah, knight takes on f4. Knight takes on f4, and everything maybe is okay for white, but knight will go to e5 square, yeah? So 4 minutes left for both players. Knight takes f4, and knight will go to e5. Pawn on g6 is under attack, so Maria has to put her knight on e5 square just to protect this pawn. It is the main opportunity right now. Yeah, Maria is making this move. Knight e5, protecting pawn on g6. Everything is okay for her. Pawn on c4 also is under attack. So what to do for white? It's easy to understand, because maybe e takes f5. But not so easy to understand. Is it a good one or not? A good one opportunity. So maybe just something like rook c1, queen b3 also possible. Queen b3 maybe. Why not? What about queen b3? Yeah, queen b3, maybe even with some ideas c5, something like that. c5 right now. Well, very interesting play from white. What about d takes c5, d6? Yeah, d6 will be played. So Maria, you have some problems here in this position. So what to do for black? It's so easy to defend. Right now, I believe that it is not very good move from d8, because queen can go to b3. Queen should go to b3 with some discovered check. So rook d8 is played, but maybe c can take on d6, or d can take on c6, something like that. Queen b3 is played by white, so some possibility of discard attack. D can take on c6, king should go to h8, something like that. Maybe bishop d4 is possible for white with an idea to exchange Knight on e5 and then checkmate on g6. So what to do for white is the most principal decision maybe in this game. So I believe that bishop d4 should be played. 35 minutes left in our tournament. Very good match we can see right now. So what opportunities for white? One of the most principal decisions in this game. So I believe that bishop d4 should be played. Bishop d4 with an idea to exchange knight on e5, which is very strong and very good in defensive play. So c takes d6, rook or queen will take on d6. You know, the c takes d6 also very logical, but right now maybe queen can take on d6. Queen can take on d6, yeah. Rook on d6 was not possible because of bishop c5 with pin. So right now queen takes on d6, rook d1, maybe just rook d1, yeah. So I believe that white has a very good and very huge advantage in this position. So d takes c6 is d takes c6 right now, isn't it? D takes c6 and everything is all over in this game. Maybe something like that. D takes c6. I discovered attack on queen on this d6. So g5 I believe is a serious mistake. Knight e6 also is possible, so I believe that g5 was a serious mistake and Maria got her position out of control. Yeah, this d takes c6, discovered attack on queen on d6 and rook on d8. And what to do? Queen cannot take on c6 because the rook on d8 is under attack, so maybe queen should go to c7 or to f8, something like that. I believe that queen f8 will be played. It is the most logical opportunity. Queen d1, rook d1, and it's all over. Not possible idea. So white should take on d1. Yeah, rook d1, rook d1, queen d1. Queen d1, yeah. G takes f4. G takes f4. Queen will go to d8 square. No, Maria decided to take pawn on c6 with knight, and right now I believe checkmate will appear on board in few moves. Knight goes to h5, bishop goes to e5. So how to checkmate black in this position? Not so easy to understand, but maybe white doesn't even have to do that. They have extra material, so nothing can happen in this game. Maybe something like queen d5. I believe that queen d5 is the most logical with an idea to, yeah, queen d5 is played. Queen d5 with an idea to play queen f7. B6 is not possible, everything is okay. F takes e4, right now bishop will go, bishop will take on e4, yeah. Bishop takes on e4, and queen f7 is a very serious idea, serious threat for black, so I believe that Maria has to resign in this game and play one more. So very good play from white. I believe it is a contender for the game of the day. So knight on h7 is under attack. Maria decided to take pawn on h3, but right now, yeah, queen goes to f7, and how to protect against checkmate ideas. Wow. Maria decided to play knight f8, but right now even queen can take on b7 with double attack on a8 and c6. I believe it is the most logical. Or just bishop c5. Yeah, bishop c5. Also nice try, but white player has to play 35 seconds left on clock. So bishop c5 or queen b7, something like that. Queen b7, I believe that bishop c5 was better, but queen b7, of course, is okay. So we are waiting for move from Maria. I believe rook c8 is the only opportunity to protect both pieces, rook. So I believe rook c8 should be played by Maria, or she will resign. right here, because yeah, rook c8 is played, so white has to move bishop c5, and everything will be all over. Okay, bishop takes c6. Bishop takes c6. Right now, rook c7 is possible. Bishop g4 is played. Queen f7. What about, yeah, bishop h5? Maybe queen f7 was a little blunder. Of course, everything is okay still, but maybe there are some technical difficulties for white. So bishop takes on g5. A lot of extra material. Bishop takes c3. B should take c3. Rook cannot take on c3 because of bishop f6 check, so everything is all over, of course, in this game. King g7, and what about just bishop e3, or yeah, bishop e3 is played. 30 minutes left in our tournament, more than a half past, so bishop d4, king h7, king h2. I believe that white will win this game. So Maria has to take on d4 because she needs to find counterplay, but there is no counterplay in this position, so very bad from her. Queen goes to e5, queen goes to e5, and queen g7, bishop g7, king g7. Less than 30 minutes left in our tournament, and everything is okay right now in this position for white. It's totally win position, so king will go to h5 right now, or c5, and then king h5. Yeah, I believe that it would be an easy win for white in this position. So let's switch to another game. AVK, Artem Knязев against Mikhailo Jokic. So some classical openings. h3 was the last move from Artem Knязев. He's trying to attack bishop on g4 and ask Mikhailo some questions where to go with his bishop. Maybe just to exchange on f3. Yeah, queen will take on f3 and knight e5. Yeah, and now exchange on d3. C takes d3. Wow, interesting play from Artem. Well, right now, what, d4 or rook c1? b6, Artem, right now. What about b6? And rook c6 or knight d7, and how to protect bishop? How can he get out from a7 square? b4, maybe everything is okay. Of course, rook d5, yeah, and rook on a1 is under attack. So, and queen c7, and Artem will play without a piece, but 3 pawns for a knight, so maybe some practical chances for Moscow team player. Rook c1, maybe with some threat, rook c7. Yeah, there are some possibilities. Rook e1 was would move, but I believe right now it is not possible because of knight f3. So d4 trying to attack knight on e5 square. And where to go with knight? Knight goes to d3 with some active ideas. Well, queen takes on a2. Yeah, nice try from Mikhailo Jokic. So queen goes back to g3, protecting pawn on f2, and one more pawn is down on b4, d6. Some chances, but queen goes to d5. Very good. And queen d4. Queen d4 right now is the most logical, but Mikhail decided to play knight c6 and take pawn on d4 with knight. Yeah, it all happens. So more than 5 minutes, almost for both players. We're playing really fast, but Artem is losing this game now. Knight e2 is a very serious threat, and how to defend against this idea, it's not so easy to understand. Now king goes to h2, Maybe rook will go to d8 or knight f5, also very nice try. Queen will go to f4, rook d8, and pawn on d6 is under attack. So on the next move, Mikhailo will take it and will play with extra knight. But will he win this game? Let's watch this. Queen d7 and just extra knight for Mikhailo. Let's find some counter chances. h4, very active play, but right now it is not very good because yeah, queen c7 and even queens go out of board, and it's all over. King g3, knight d5, rook b3. So rook c3 also is possible, but king goes to g7. Very good technique from Mikhailo Jokic. Rook goes to c5, protecting knight on d5, h5, trying to make pawn structure much more efficient for black. So rook f5, rook a6 with pin, king goes to g7. Very fast play from both players, but they have more than 5 minutes both, so I don't know why they are playing so fast. Rook b3, trying to protect pawn on f3, and how to improve position, and position goes to the pawn endgame, and it is totally lost. Mikhailo, very good chess technique. Yeah, we should confirm that, and yeah, two extra pawns for Mikhailo Jokic. More than 6 minutes for him. I didn't see that. So it would be an easy win for Mikhailo. Let's switch to another game. Very good game for Mikhailo. Well, let's watch this one. Alisa Nurmukhametova against Luka Ristic. Let's watch this one. The last move from Luka was knight e4, attacking rook on f2. Rook goes back to f1. So knight goes to d7. So what next? What next move from Alisa? King g2, just preventing maybe knight g3. So c5, c3, classical decisions. So 22 minutes left in our match. Everything is going very, very good for both players, for both teams. So rook c8. And Alisa is thinking, I believe that bishop e3 will be played. Nah, but she decided to play knight g5, and I believe it is a mistake because maybe rook c1 is possible. Rook c1, but queen c1, yeah? And bishop h6, h4. If it is true, so everything would be okay for Alisa, but Luka decided to play queen b6. Also nice try. That's why I think knight g5 was not very good move. Because right now bishop cannot go anywhere because pawn on b2 would be under attack. So very hard decisions for Alisa. So rook f8. So very active position for Luka Ristic. He has very good chances to win this position. How to protect this position for Alisa? Not so easy to understand that. Maybe she should exchange knights on e4, something like that. Yeah, you know, there is a good opportunity to exchange. Yeah, and queen b3. And queen b3 right now, exchange even queens. And maybe in that case, everything would be okay for her. Queen b3, Alisa, yeah. Alisa should make this move. 20 minutes left in our tournament. Yeah, queen b3 is played by Alisa. Very good defensive play from her. Queen takes, a takes b3, a6, and I believe that this position should be okay for white. Maybe right now just bishop c4, just bishop g5 is possible. Bishop c4 and bishop g5 right now. Yeah, Alisa, come on, let's play. Bishop d5 with double attack on pawn on b7 and pawn on e4. Very good. And Luca is pawn down. And Alisa has two bishops, extra pawn. I believe that everything is okay. And she will win this game. But how exactly? I believe bishop g5, I believe, was better, much more active than bishop e3. Right now, pawn goes to e6, rook will go to f1, to c1, something like that. Well, I believe to f1 was also very good. Rook c1 with some rook c7 ideas. Rook c7 right now. Come on, Alice, let's play very active chess. Rook c1, rook c7 looks very logical. Yeah, attacking pawn on b7, and I believe that knight d5 is going to be the opportunity to protect against this. Well, a5. What's a5? Black offers draw. Of course, Alisa will decline that. Yeah. Rook takes on b7, exchanging rooks, two extra pawns for Alisa, and I believe she will easily win this one. So a4, but maybe d5 was possible, but Alice decided to play just to take on a4. Why not? b3, knight goes to c3. Two extra pawns for white, two bishops, and I believe it would be an easy plan. Bishop d2, b4, b5 with some good ideas. Bishop well, d2 is played. Bishop b4 protecting knight. Well, nice play. What about maybe king e3, king e3, king d3, something like that? Yeah, king e3 is played by Alisa. King d3 is her aim. So Luca is trying to find some counter chances, but I believe that there are not too many counter chances in this position because not too much material on board left. So Luca is two pawns down, and there is no active counter play, but maybe just knight d1, something like that. 17 minutes left. I believe we'll see several games, for example, one or two left in our match. Of course, it depends on how long will take for Alisa to win this game. Well, right now king d3, and it's all over because, well, but Alisa cannot take on b4. But she can make a very logical move, bishop f3, or take on h5 and then bishop f3. That looks very logical. And then just go to king c4 and pawn Alisa. What is going on? Alisa blunders a bishop on c6, and wow. What a pity for Alisa. She blundered a bishop on c6, and now she's losing this game. b5. I believe that king e7 was not the best possible from Luca, but right now he can make a move. Knight a5 was better, I believe. Knight a5, knight b7, and not to understand how to go next for Alisa. d5 right now, d5, maybe she will escape, you know, maybe she will escape because knight on b8 is not very active, it is too passive. Right now, d5 also very good way to play. Maybe firstly she should take on h5 and just right now then to take on move d5, but Alisa decided to play d5 immediately. Also nice try. Maybe she's trying to exchange all pawns. It would be a draw, of course. H takes g4 for both players. Yeah. Is it a draw, or Luca will win it, or maybe even Alisa will win it? So more than 2 minutes left for both players. 15 minutes left in our tournament. And very interesting endgame right now. What should be played? G5 or something like that? How to play G5? Yeah, Luka decided to play G5. And what a plan for Lisa. Not so easy to find a good move even for her. Maybe just King D4 or just King C4 and watch what Luka will do. Maybe it is a good way. It is a good way, I believe. King C4. Come on, Alice. I believe that it is a draw. I believe it is a draw. King C4, King E7, King C5, King D7. Something like that should be appear on board. So Alisa is thinking. She's trying maybe to calculate some variations. Maybe she's playing for a win one more time. But I don't believe that it is possible in this position to play for a win with white. But I believe she manages to escape in this game. She manages not to lose it. So, but yeah, King D4 is played. I believe it is there is an idea to play King C4, King C5, King D4, King C4, and something like that. And the game will end in a draw because I don't see any active plans for Luka Ristic. So 2 minutes left for him, but I believe the game will end in a draw. King E7, yeah, is played, and I believe King C5 should be played by Alisa. King C4, King C5, something like that should be played. Yeah, King C4 is played by Alisa. You know, maybe there is even an idea to play something like B7 and then exchange pawns on E6 and go with King to Knight on B8, but it is very risky play. So I believe that both players understand that the game is deadly draw. So King D7, I believe Luka will play. Maybe he is trying to calculate something like Knight A6, Knight D7 also, you know, Knight D7 is possible. Knight D7. Well, what about Knight D7? Double attack on pawn on B6 and pawn on E5. Here, Knight D7 is played by Luka Ristic, so now Alisa has to decide what to do. And maybe she's losing this game because how to protect both pawns, I believe it is not possible. But what to do? B7? B7? Maybe, Alisa. Come on, Alisa, I believe that B7 is the only opportunity for you to play right now in this position. Knight will take on E5, maybe, yeah? But will Luka manage to win this position after B7? Knight goes to D7, Alisa is calculating variations, but B7 is the only opportunity to make some counterplay. All other opportunities are totally lost. So, Alisa, 10 seconds left for Alisa and more than a minute for Luka Ristic, and D6 is played by Alisa. King goes to D8 and right now King B7, yeah, and Knight will take on E5, check, and then we'll go back to D7 square. But Luka is trying to calculate some variations, and King go to C6. Well, and what about King B6, yeah? King B6. But King D7. King D7 and it's all over. Yeah. King D7 right now, and the game will easily win for Luka Ristic. King D7, yeah, is played by Luka. King goes to C5, and right now just maybe Knight C6. Knight C6, and it's all over. Yeah, Knight C6, and Lisa does not have an opportunity to defend all her pawns. And pawn on D6 is falling down. King go to B6. king takes on d6, and yeah, Alisa resigned. Good game, but what a pity for young and talented Russian player, because she was 2 pawns up and she blundered a bishop on c6. So 10 minutes left in our match. Let's watch the game between maybe something like that. Angela Dmitrievich against AVK Artem Knязев. So e5 was the last black move, knight b3 by Angela. So very strange play from Artem Knязев. He has weaknesses on d6, on b6, square on d5, also not very good, but a4. Maybe everything okay in dynamic play for Artem Knязев. Rook a8, rook a8 with an idea bishop a6, something like that. b4, but what about a takes b4? A takes b3, yeah. A takes b3, knight should take, bishop a6, yeah, attacking queen on e2 square. So Angela is thinking where to go. Maybe knight d3, yeah? Knight d3 will be played. Something like that. Yeah, knight d3 is played by Artem Knязев, attacking rook on e1. Angela decided to play rook e3. Angela Dmitrievich is also a very experienced player. She is 16 years old, high rating. So Artem Knязев has some problems, I believe, in this position. So weaknesses on d6 and b6 are still on board. Well, but why Angela decided to take on c5? Because right now d can take on c5, yeah, and everything is okay for Artem Knязев right now. Queen takes d8, bishop takes d8. Well, queen g4, but what about g6? g6 maybe is even the only opportunity, yeah, because on bishop f6 e5 will be played, so g6 is played. Then what to do? e5 maybe, just e5 by Angela looks very logical. So come on, Angela, let's play e5. Or maybe h5 will be played on e5, something like that. Or maybe even rook d1. Why not rook d1? Also nice try. But e5 is played by Angela, and I believe the most principled decision in this position is to play maybe even h5. Because e6 is a very serious threat. Bishop goes to c8. Wow, brilliant play from Artem Knязев. He is trying to win a knight, but knight can take on e7 or even e6. Wow, e6. Well, why he didn't take on e8 on previous move? Rook on e8 is under attack. Now, right now, what right now? And Angela, I believe that Angela blundered something because right now she is pawn down and she has no attack in this position. Rook a2, rook e6, queen f7 should be played. Or maybe rook a1 firstly. No, Artem decided to play queen f7, yeah. Oof, maybe h4 is not possible because queen f2, so pawn on f2 is under attack. So Angela has to do something with that. Maybe just rook e2, trying to exchange rooks and find the escape in queen endgame. So queen f7 is a very strong move by Artem Knязев. f4 is played by Angela, maybe with some f5 ideas or something like that. But I believe right now queen g7 maybe is not very good because rook e8. Queen b7 with some checkmate ideas on how to defend against it. Maybe just rook e2 is the only opportunity not to lose the game immediately for Angela. Less than 5 minutes left in our tournament. Rook g6. Angela decided to find the good luck in this sacrifice. Queen takes g6, king f8. And you know, maybe she will find it because she will win a rook. No, she will not. Queen f7 is the only opportunity right now. Or maybe king g8 also is possible, yeah. But I believe that Artyom will play queen f7. Maybe it is a perpetual check on board, so not so easy to understand. King goes to g8, and what next? Queen a6 is not winning a rook because of queen f7. So right now, the most principal decision: why not queen f7? Why Artyom decided not to do this logical move? Queen f7 looks very logical. So just to cover the king. King e8 is not possible because of queen e6 and double attack on king and rook on a2. So queen f7 is played by Artyom Knязев, yeah. And what next? Angela has to find some counterplay. She needs some checks, yeah. Queen d8. What next? Decision king g7, I believe, will be played by Artyom. And then queen g5 will appear on board by Angela. Less than 3 minutes left in our match. Very interesting. Will this game end before the time expires? Queen goes back to e8. Very interesting defense. Right now, queen f6 is the only opportunity. King g8. King is under attack, and queen goes to g5 is the only check. King goes to f7, and I believe that Artyom will manage to escape from perpetual check. So I believe that he will win this game. So right now how to go, where to go? King has to go back because king cannot go on d line because queen will go to d5 with double attack. Maybe it is a draw. Maybe it is a draw. Less than 2 minutes left in our match. So queen e5 was the last check. And how to win this game? Artyom is trying to do that, but it's not so easy to do it right now. Not so easy to find opportunity to escape a perpetual check. Maybe it is just a draw. Maybe it is just a draw because of course he can escape a perpetual check, but he will lose rook on a2. Of course he doesn't want to do that. It goes without saying. Artyom is thinking king d7 is played, and what about queen d5? Artyom decided to play this position for the win. Interesting play, and right now Angela has to take on a2. Yeah, queen e1. And I believe that Artyom will try to play c4. c4, yeah. c4, c3, and pass pawn to the first rank. So Artyom, let's play a little bit faster. They will not manage to score points in this game because our time is all over. So there are no more time on the match clock. Maybe just a draw. King b7. King b7. Brilliant. How long will it take to play this position? We don't know. Let's watch several moves. If nothing happens, we will try to end our tournament and watch some results. So let's end this match because the time is all over. Let's find some results. Moscow team won with 293 points. Belgrade team managed to score 142 points. Our congratulations to both teams. We saw a lot of brilliant games, and we hope to see you very soon on our next broadcast. So one more time, our congratulations, and we hope to see you very soon. Stay healthy, and our broadcast has come to an end. So goodbye.